Okay, guys. Aaron's going to demonstrate the correct way to assemble an oxygen tank. Quite simply, the only thing you need is an O2 tank and the regulator. Okay? So, Aaron, you want to walk them through it and go.
Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to crack it, make sure all the debris is gone out of the...
There you go. Out of the port.
There we go.
Keep in mind that, let me see the regulator. Inside the regulator, there's these little prongs. See those little prongs right there? Okay. Right there, hold that. Those prongs need to line up and go into these two holes right here, okay? Those holes are only on one side of the valve stem, okay? So make sure you're putting it on the side that has the two prongs, okay?
And these prongs will only fit on an oxygen tank.
Exactly. This regulator will only go on an oxygen tank. You cannot put it on any other type of tank and gas. So you'll see right down in there, the prongs are lined up. Everything is flush. It is nice and tight, okay? She cranked it down. Now she's gonna turn it on. Click. We don't have a lot of oxygen in this tank. We have not been able to fill our oxygen tanks because of the need for O2 at the hospitals due to COVID. So we're dealing with a very near empty tank. If this tank was somewhat full or adequately full, that little black gauge there, that little nozzle, that little needle, would have jumped up here into the green, approximately 2,000 pounds. Okay. This tank is, for all accounts and purposes, empty and insufficient to treat a patient, but it's sufficient enough for us to teach you how to make a good seal. Okay. So she's got it tight right here. She cracked this valve stem on by turning it lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. The meter flow is set to 0. If she was going to use a nasal cannula, she could crank it around. I'm going to turn this off because I don't want to waste the
precious oxygen.
There you go. I don't want to waste the precious oxygen. Okay. Hear it hissing a little bit. That would be 2 liters per minute, 3 liters per minute, 4, and then 6. And that would be the absolute maximum setting for a nasal cannula. If you're using a non-rebreathing mask, we're going to set it up 10 to 15. If we're using a bag valve mask, we're going to set it up from 10 to 15 all the way up to 25 if necessary. Whatever's necessary to give the patient adequate amount of oxygen. Okay. In a full tank, before you guys disconnect this, you want to make sure that this is off to 0. Okay, pull it around. And then she's going to turn it off. Okay, and then disassemble it. She's going to crack the valve relief, pull it out. It's going to pull out those little prongs. And then she's just going to lift it right on off. Okay, now at no time do we ever leave one of these things sitting up, because if it falls off and lands on the floor, this valve stem gets broken off. That means that we have about a 1.5 foot long silver torpedo spinning around through the building. Okay, I do have a hole in the side of the wall at my house due to one of my mother's oxygen tanks doing exactly that, snapping off and then rocketing through the side of the house. Yeah, it was quite interesting that day. So it can happen. Flammable, keep it away from open flames. It does not catch fire, but it will make a fire burn hot. So, any of you guys that are familiar with your fire triangle, make sure that you guys keep it away from open flames and use caution with using this type of product. This is a drug by National Registry Standards. It's the one and only drug that you guys are allowed to give to a patient without making base contact. Okay. Well, there you go. I'm going to play another video, do another video with her just doing it straight through with no stopping for narration, and you guys can see how the skill goes down. Okay, thanks.